Uh, Hello, my name is Timothy Robinson. Oh, let me just get comfortable. Right. So today, let me just pause my music, hold on. It's coming through right now. Right. So today, I'd like to talk to you guys about this, it's called the New Age movement. I'm sure you've all heard about it. It sells the idea that, I don't suppose it sells the idea, I suppose it's giving an alternate opinion, which is fair enough. I'm all for that. You know, I don't disagree with anything. I just don't think we should go running into the arms of the East as soon as someone said to me before. We shouldn't go running into the arms of the East as soon as if we mess up in the West. But I suppose it's human nature to find comfort in something, isn't it? Especially in kind of world that we're living in, where we have to fight for any kind of attention and love that we have. And that's everyone. We'd always have this. I'm the peak of capitalism. I've got my Xbox, I've got my laptop. I'm materialistic as it goes, but I suppose you have to be the height of something to understand it. Even so, everyone's always on the same par. As soon as you get on, as soon as you get your phone, or the new iPhone S or whatever, or your Xbox 360, or your PS3 or something like that, you become part of it. You become part of the system. You always will, because then you're just another number. There's nothing that separates you, because you're now one in a million people that have it. One of the million people that have it. But often people can, compare me to a Marxist, or the people who are against capitalism. But I'm not. I don't believe that we should be in a society dictated by the banks and everything the banks and now the government. But no, see, look, that's just a soft topic. I'm not going to get into that, because obviously we've already got so many hours in the day. But one thing I will say is that, have you seen the police commissioner bid right now for the UK? Now that's gonna definitely poke some holes. People are gonna start to see now that everything's a little bit fishy, because as soon as they get direct influences off the government can start influencing police on their tactics, forces, what kind of unnecessary force they'll need to use. I'll call it unnecessary, because all force is unnecessary. No one needs conflict. People are only bad because of the bad situation that they're in. I'll say, but sure, you've got something bad everywhere, but there's always a way to pinpoint. I reckon evil is a disease. Evil spreads like a disease. I've had first-hand experience of this, so trust me on this one. Evil spreads like a disease. It can spread from one person to another, just through simple hobbies and mindsets. But if you pinpoint that down to a certain thing, and through, I'll say alternative medication. This is where I will say crystals, and I will say meditation can seriously get rid of that. Me myself, I'm very selfish personally. I am, yeah. I will consider myself very selfish, quite manipulative. In such, I will never, if I have a viewpoint, I'll try and press it a little bit, and that's not the way to be. I know it's not the way to be, and the way I've realised that is talking to myself, and that's basically what it is through meditation. You're talking to yourself, and the rest, if you are this being of the universe, then of course, we're gonna, to be honest, no, yeah, we are going to become the universe. We are the universe inside of us, and obviously one unity, and we completely get rid of the dualistic thing. But to be fair, I can't really say much on any of this, because to be honest, I'm not very well knowing. But I will draw something that someone wrote down for me. It's called squaring circle. I didn't get the shimmer of it. Ooh, something like that. Just look something up like that. Apparently that's like, the female and male energy form and how we all combine, male being the, I think it's just, yes, the circle is the male and the female is square. So it's fire as well, so it's like every time you circle the square, as you get further and further out, well, you start to overlap, and in the way, as soon as you start overlapping, oh, do you know what, I'll draw it again, it's too hard to describe, so what we'll have, another square outside the circle. Right, you see, oh, I can't do it. Right, you see where it overlaps here, right, that's 5, and I'm not quite sure what the number is, but it's that's something you're gonna have to do yourself. Have a look, a bit of research on that. But it's quite interesting. It's saying that how we're all yin yang energies, all that. I'm not quite knowledgeable in all this. To be honest, I'm really asking more questions rather than giving answers. There's a lot on my mind. There's a lot of thinking that why do people like what they do? That's more interesting, more on my kind of area of knowledge. I'd rather know why people do the things they do and how we're becoming so similar. I understand that we're all one organism, I get that, but we should all still have our individuality. There should always still be that part of us that is, well, every part of us that is us. We shouldn't have to bend to one way. And look at human history, and we've always had tribes, everywhere. And now we've just come to these congregated little groups, in different parts of society. Like, you've got Europe. Well, that's it. That's one step to one world government anyway, isn't it? You've got the Umero and all that. Europe, America, Mexico, and Canada. That's the Umero. That's the three. Northern America, whatever you want to call it. But that's one step closer to this one world government that they want, isn't it? I understand if you're getting bored, more than welcome, turn it off. Still good anyway, isn't it? Yeah, so what do you guys think? Comment below and tell me what you guys think about Yomero and all that. Cause, to be honest, I don't really know much about that. But anyway, as I was saying, we all come from tribes, and then we started like conjugating into these big lumps of humanity, and then why did we do that? And then we just conflict. We just fight with each other. I suppose it's going to be a state now where it's going to say East versus West. Well, it is, isn't it? It's China versus, well, the East versus the West. Maybe that's the deciding battle of the universe. Maybe war is the answer. But then again, we've never ever given peace a try, No, I suppose we have. But the thing is, though, you can never trust. This is the problem with conjugated lumps of people. You have to have a person stand up and speak your opinion. You can never even have, because if everybody starts saying their own opinion, like imagine you've got A, and they start saying each one of their opinions, they're all going to clash, aren't they? But if you move it down to one, but big clumps in the middle, so like imagine my fist is a clump, oh, then it just becomes like blah 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 blah. It just becomes a debate. So, but the problem with that is, it becomes with so many people, it becomes Chinese whisper. So obviously, there's no way to actually tell what we really want. Because someone will say, "Oh, that was a good idea. What was it again?" What do we do now? It's like the education system as well. That was a way to get people to think alike. And instead of thinking separately. But that again, that's ruining great minds, but I'm trying to get them to think alike. But I suppose it's in the name of capitalism. I've become a bit of a proletariat at the moment. Really, I believe in work and work, you know, which is a shame because when I get everything I want, I said in my last video, you know, how everyone's so parallel and walking in the straight line, blah blah blah. Oh, that's actually broke. That's alright. Bit of fate there, isn't it? Proletariat, you know. So I only believe in work because it's going to get you where what you've got to do, which is daft. You know, as long as I've been alive, I've always said to myself, I said, there's got to be alternative methods of living. You can't just have this one way of living. Like, oh, you have to get money, you work, you live, you get educated, and you die. Surely, there's got to be some kind of line where you say, okay, what if I don't belong here? Do you just have to drift? You know, why can't we live in the wilderness? And if so, where? You know, if it's not private owned land, it's business owned land. It's a shame, it really is, and government owned land. Oh, and good news, actually, they discovered oh, this is going back a year ago. They started, you know, properly getting some excavation done in the pyramids in Bosnia. That's the one. Bosnian pyramids. Yeah, they got some stuff done there. I'm really quite undecided on that. But if it is, then it's, you know, it's good thing for Europe, isn't it? You know, we got this history and backing story now, and we can compare. You know, actually, bringing on to that one, we can compare our history with the Egyptians. I'll just finish that first. I've only got a couple of minutes left anyway, because I don't want to go over 15. I don't know that. But yeah. Okay, so we'll just run into that. I want you to comment below if anyone's watching this, why you think history has had different people like the Romans, the Egyptians, and all that. And why have they died out? You know, why have they abandoned their ideas and formed new things out of them? You know, why is it become? Why is it jumped? You know, from people wearing gold hats to army helmets. You know, and that's a completely different ideology. You know, if something was that thick and true, then you know, it wouldn't shift, would it? So, well, on the other hand, it could just be natural evolution. It could be us changing form. You know, what do you believe? I'd like you to comment below. Thank you, please. Comment. So fix my echo, a bit of vanity, no. So thanks ever so much for your time, guys. If you've watched it, yeah. If you haven't, doesn't matter. If you don't enjoy it, comment below. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to fix it. You know, cool. If you don't like me, see you later.